What's going on, guys? Hit Squad here again, back at it with another video. Um, I had to kind of wait a day to make this video. I couldn't make it yesterday. My emotions were everywhere throughout that whole game. Um, so yeah, I mean, I usually with something like that, I'll do like an instant reaction, but that I really had to just sit back and just, sleep on it, look back at what we could look at, and yeah, so let's get into it, guys. Um, the Giants lost. Loss is an understatement. They were abused, embarrassed. The list can go on. Against the 49ers, second team, maybe their third team. It's sad, man. It's sad. I mean, that costly fumble. I'm not even going to say that it's Daniel Jones's fault. I got to put them on Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram hasn't been the same. Evan Ingram hasn't been helping us at all. I know he had a little, um, highlight, I guess, last week against Chicago. I was on record of saying in my last video that he was one player I was looking at, and he was non-existent. The only play I could really come back to is his fumble. Um, Darius Slayton completely disappeared. Um, Daniel Jones just looked lost. The whole team looked lost. I liked how the first half defense played, but at the same time, defense still played pretty bad. There was no pass rush, which, where's Kyler Fackrell? Where's Marcus Golden? Where's O'Shane Ximines? Where are these players at, and why can't they get to the QB? Blake Martinez and James Bradbury are really the only positives on the defensive side, and those are free agent signings. I know that Leonard Williams had another sack yesterday, but I'm not looking to spend all this money on Leonard Williams in this offseason. I'm just not. Um, yeah, this offensive line just wasn't holding up. And look, even with it being their second team, they still have a good defense. I said that, I didn't feel like their linebackers were as athletic as maybe the Bears last week, but they were still athletic. They got it done. You got to really tip your hat off to Kyle Shanahan. Again, this team looked lost. This team looked confused, and I don't expect Dave Gettleman to keep his job much longer. This isn't a good product that they're putting on the field. I would have to say this has to be one of, if not the worst game I have seen the Giants played in my time. At least within recent years, we could put points on the board. There was times where we'd go 5-11 or 3-13 or whichever, and we can at least still put points on the board. Right now, you could make the valid argument that the New York Giants are the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, next to the New York Jets, but I think that the Jets play with more fight than the Giants do. I don't know what it's going to take for this team to win. I was on record saying that if any game, this should be the game the Giants win, just trying to take advantage of the injuries, and they didn't. They didn't take advantage at all. They didn't put a single point on the board other than field goals. And that it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's so frustrating to watch. I'm not on board with the whole tank for Trevor. I think that, regardless, even if they went and got Trevor Lawrence, he's not going to fix this organization overnight. I think, we as fans are just very impatient. People forget, these rebuilds take time. I know we're on our third year of rebuild, but this is DJ's third scheme in 3 years. You could consider this his sophomore slump. It's very common. However, with the more recent quarterbacks that have been coming out, it's not too common. People want things right now, right this second, if not, get rid of it. And I get it. I get the frustrations, but I just think that we need to pump the brakes in that aspect. But no, I'm very upset with how the Giants played. They didn't prove to me that they are trying to build a winning culture. They look confused. The play calling was very suspect. Jason Garrett is not, he's not designing up plays to get to have his receivers get open. I haven't really heard Darius Slayton outside of uh, the one fumble he had yesterday in the fourth quarter and the Steelers game. I haven't really heard from him, and he needs to get it together. Obviously, Saquon Barkley's out, but you can't really pin all of this on Saquon. You can't at all. He doesn't play both sides of the ball. Even with Saquon here, he wasn't running the ball effectively behind this offensive line. I think the Giants have to start Matt Pert on the right side. Um, Obviously, Cam Fleming isn't getting it done. This offensive line isn't getting it done. Something needs to change. And if it gets worse from here, I expect Dave Gettleman to get fired. I expect to see some players get traded, some players get released. Um, Isaac Yadam, Devontae Downs, get rid of them. You're not losing anything if you get rid of them. You can pick up another player on the street the same way you picked them off the street. You're not losing anything. It's very frustrating. Again, um, I think I think the rest of the season is just evaluation. I know every season you want to go in, with evaluation, but I just think that you know really just we need to evaluate this team. We need to evaluate the players that we have. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to trade Evan Ingram. I don't know what you'd get for him. Probably nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if they released him. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded a player like Dalvin Tomlinson. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. Um, this team isn't playing good. This team is bad. This team is a lot worse than I thought they were. I'll be the first to say it. I had optimism for this Giants team. I knew that they would be a little rough. Um, I knew that going into the season they'll be learning a new scheme, offensively, defensively. We have really young players, new coaching staff, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. It's sad, man. It's very frustrating, but I think this team will get it figured out somewhere somehow. I think they'll get it figured out. I'm not ready to give on DJ yet. I think he can be our franchise guy, but it's going to take some time. Um, with no preseason, no mandatory minicamp, it's really hard. And you can also make the same argument that you look at teams like the Bengals, the Jets, same situation. No mandatory minicamp, nothing, but they're playing better than we are. The Bengals had the first overall pick last year, and they're playing better than we are. They look more focused. They look like they actually know what they're doing. This team doesn't. This team looks like a JV high school football team. I don't know. I really don't got nothing else to say. Let me know what you guys think below. This was a pathetic, pathetic loss. Um, Sad, man. Sad. I really got no thoughts. Let me know what you guys think below. It's going up.